Well, hello channel members. It's Monday morning and it's time for another video. All right, this week we're going to talk about a company that, let's just start off with a few things we know about them. And that's that their trucks are beautiful. Nobody's disputing that. They put custom wooden cabinets in the truck, things like that. Very nice trucks. The owner of the company is a former driver himself. I guess he still drives sometimes. He makes these great videos on YouTube talking about how great the company is and how pro driver they are and all of that. So in this video, we're going to take a look at that company and see if that's true or not. Of course, I'm talking about Hurricane Express. But before I talk about Hurricane Express, you guys give this video a thumbs up, share it on your social media platform, and since you're members, tell all your friends to subscribe as well. All right, folks, let's cue up the music and jump right in. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down, flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do.
Okay, we'll get to the website here in a second, but as you can see, this is the safer page for Hurricane Express. And we're gonna look over their stuff here and see how it looks, and quite honestly, it doesn't look that bad. As we scroll down, you'll see that they show to have 450 trucks, but only 426 of them are driver filled. So there's 426 drivers. You'll be able to see it here in a second when I scroll over. There it is. It was showing you the address and everything. Talks about the kind of property they haul, pretty standard stuff. But now we're going to get down into the safety stuff and the real meat and potatoes that matter. There's the 426 drivers that I spoke of. Now, what you need to keep in mind is they say that they drove 46,230,000 miles. If you divide that by 426 drivers, you're going to see that that's 108,521 miles a year, which works out to about 2,087 miles a week. Why is this important? Because they say on their website, and you're going to see this in a minute when we get to that part, that their drivers can get up to 3,000 miles a week. Well, you guys know what averages are. If somebody's getting 3,000 miles a week, to get to a 2,087 average, somebody's got to be driving 1,100 miles a week. So just keep that in mind. Don't go there banking on getting 3,000 miles a week, because by their own admission here on their safer report, the average driver's getting 2,087 miles. And if I would have divided it by the number of the trucks that they had, it would have been even lower. And as we scroll down more, you can see the type of property they haul, things like that. Their safer score is not bad, 692 inspections, and then way under the national average there. They're at, I think it's 8.1. I can't see it on my screen, and because I'm having to do voiceover, but the national average is 22.6, so that's good. They're probably getting a lot of green lights at the scale. And then if you look over at the driver fitness one, they've had 1,195 inspections and only 0.7 out of service. National average on driver fitness is 6.67. So again, that tells you right there that they've got a very strong safety department. And it could be an indication that their drivers are at least making enough money to cover their maintenance and take care of their trucks. If we scroll down to the crashes, you'll see they had 2 fatal crashes, 9 crashes with injuries, 33 towaways, and a total of 44 accidents. So this is in the last 24 months. Again, nothing crazy. And then if we go to Canada, there's nothing for Canada, likely meaning that they don't do any Canadian loads. And that continues down below as well. So all in all, I was actually surprised. Their safer score is a lot better than what I was expecting. And so that just goes to show you more proof that I'm fair and balanced on here. I don't just attack companies to attack companies. I was really impressed with this. Alrighty, as we look at their website, one thing that becomes immediately clear is that they have really, really pretty trucks, and they're very, very proud of those trucks. They're definitely going for the eye candy appeal of, oh, look what a great truck you can get. And let's face it, for some guys, that's all that matters. They just want something flashy to show, something to park in their driveway, impress their neighbors. My concern with this deal, and we'll talk about it through this video, is that once they get this truck, they're going to have to work all the time and they won't be able to show it to their neighbors. Hurricane Express offers an affordable path to drivers who are ready to take that next step in their professional driving career. Now, they're going to want you to have at least 30 months of experience. They want you to be able to be licensed to drive a manual or an automatic. And there are some leases they have that they want you to have 5 years experience. Also, the minimum age is 30. In some of their leases, the minimum age is 35. So keep those things in mind. If you've just got a year or two experience, they may not take you. And so I think you've got to look at these three options they've got. I'm going to talk about all three. They've got just a straight lease where you never own the truck. You trade in every 3 years. There's a video you can watch. And this is the straight lease we're going to talk about. Then they have a traditional lease purchase with a few options, and then company driving. They do have dedicated and other options available local, depending upon where you live. All right, this is the straight lease. Basically, they give you the truck they want to give you for the first 90 days. After that, you can upgrade to a new truck that you'll keep 36 months. And then they'll just swap you into another truck. You never pay it off. You never own it. And so you need to keep those things in mind if truck ownership is your goal. You're going to need 30 months experience, as I mentioned, and they're going to take a look at everybody's driving record on a case-by-case basis. Of course, the big selling point is if you've got to have the latest and greatest, then every 3 years you're going to be getting a new truck. And we'll break down the numbers in a minute. For me, I don't see the point in making payments on a truck you're never going to own. Some of you feel that way about lease purchase, and I get it, but we'll talk about that separately. That's going to be a whole different issue when we get over in the actual lease purchase side and not just the lease like we're looking at here. Again, pretty trucks, nobody's denying that. This is the lease program features. You get a 579 Peterbilt, 2020 to 24. It's a 36-month lease, no money down, no credit check. A lot of them are going to say some of this stuff, and I won't say the repetitive stuff over and over. It's a brand new truck with the colors of your choice based on what's available after 90 days. They don't charge up front for the base plates permits or trailer rental fees, weekly settlements, and Elite Pass, Pre-Pass, Pike Pass, Easy Pass, and they pay all dispatch tolls and bridges. Keep in mind, key word there is dispatch. You need to see what routes they're running, and if they're going to make you get off on a lot of little twisty, windy roads to avoid tolls, which might save them money but could in the long run cost you more money in time and fuel efficiency and things like that. And you'll see why fuel efficiency is important as we get later into this video. Again, I think the trucks are great, but some of the fees and stuff that we're going to talk about, and I'll just give you a teaser. One of the fees we're going to talk about is $1,000 cleanup deposit. Trust me when I tell you it does not cost $1,000 to get a truck detailed. And so keep that in mind. But some people, they don't care. They want a new truck. Also, it's a mileage deal. Keep in mind this is reefer freight. Your loads are going to be heavier, and they're going to be, I don't know how to explain it. You're going to be spending a lot of downtime waiting. Getting 2,500 miles a week could be a challenge, especially in this market. I would like this deal a lot better if they paid percentage, but we'll talk about that as we go on. Waiting for the next page to load. I don't know why it's taking so long. There it went. Finally scrolling up. They pay for all authorized trailer washouts, lumpers, and routed tolls. It's mileage pay, which I've already gave you my thoughts on that. And it's the Fleet One fuel card. Lease tractor specifications. So we'll get the details on the trucks. You're going to find that they're generally equipped about the same. All of them are going to have the X15 Cummins, 450 horsepower, 1850 torque. They're going to be optioned with the wood cabinets inside that I believe that they add there in Oklahoma at the terminal. It's also going to have a microwave. It's going to have a smart TV, 3,000 watt inverter. You'll see them mention that several times in here. APU, some of the trucks seem to have them, some of them don't, but they do charge for that APU in addition to the payments, and we'll talk about that as well. This particular truck is an 18-speed transmission. There's the wood cabinets I talked about, the APU, SPAR heater, smart TV, refrigerator, microwave, and 3,000 watt inverter. Now, here's what it takes to qualify for this lease. I've mentioned some of the things earlier, and so you might be familiar. They're going to want you to be 30 years old. They're going to want you to have 30 months of OTR driving experience within the last 10 years. Your accident history will be reviewed. No automatic transmission restriction, and no DWI or DUIs convictions within the past 10 years. So I don't have a problem with none of those qualifications. I think they're pretty good. Here's the terms. Here's where my problems start coming in. The 579 Peterbilt, and remember, it could be as old as a 2020. Daily lease payment, so they're charging you daily, $65 a day, 7 days a week. But wait, there's more. On top of that, scheduled PM fee, 20 cents per mile. It does include tires and depreciation. What that means is you're not getting any of that money back at the end of your lease. They're going to say it's depreciation, and they're going to stick it in their pocket. $10 a day for that tri-pack, whether it works or not. So you have it 3 months, it breaks down, it's still $10 a day. This is robbery in my opinion. A penny a mile, basically on a 3,000 mile week, that'd be $30 a week. That's a little excessive. If you're buying your fuel correctly, you should break even or close to it. Usually on my IFTA, I'd end up owing $30 or $40. So a penny a mile is really, really excessive. FHUT and physical damage, $15 a day. Again, FHUT is $550 a year. Physical damage, I was paying under $400. Theirs is probably a little higher because the trucks are so fancy. Base plates and permits, $5 a day. That's not crazy high. I don't know Michigan's base rate or Oklahoma's base rate. I don't know why I said Michigan. Oklahoma's base rate, but in Texas it's usually about, I think it's $1,500 or $1,700 in Texas. I would think Oklahoma would be similar to that. occupational accident, which is like workers' comp, $338 a day. That's not super crazy expensive. It's usually about 140 or 160 a month, something like that. So it's not super crazy there either. But the big downer to this is you're not building equity. There's no chance of you owning the truck. And some of you are going to say the same thing about lease purchase. And there's a chance you could own the truck. Here, there's no chance. You know, day one, you're never going to own the truck. So you just prepare for that. Now we're going to look at some more on this subject. Should be coming up about right now. But it's not. What happened was when I recorded this video, it didn't do any audio, so I'm having to do a voiceover and try to repeat exactly what I said, and it's not working out great, but hopefully you're getting the gist of it. Hopefully you're able to read this and see that I'm not hiding anything. But there's some funny things we're going to get to in a minute as well. Like they've got a section, well, I'll get back to that. So we're going to skip out of this. We'll go to some of these sections. The next one would be the lease purchase. Again, this would be my second favorite option. For this company, I'd really just recommend being a company driver first couple of months, and I'll tell you why as we progress. It says you're going to have an advantage over the rest of the pack. Remember, we looked up the miles a minute ago, and it was going to be less than 2,100 miles on average. I believe it was 2087, and they're showing that you'll have a potential to drive more than 3,000 miles a week. So the potential's there, but the likelihood is probably not there. And so do I think you'll get a decent settlement at 3,000 miles? Yeah, probably. Do I think you'll get a decent settlement at less than 2,100 miles a week? No, probably not. So it's all going to depend on how you fall into the deal. If you get a dispatcher that'll run you, if you're in the right place at the right time, because they like to relay a lot of loads. And so keep that in mind as you're making your business plan. And they're saying it's an opportunity like no other. They've got 3 lease programs to choose from. The first one is for a 579 Peterbilt. It's a 72-month lease. Now, keep in mind, that's 6 years, people. That's a long time. You know, and we talk about, well, we'll talk about it in a second. Let's get caught up here. It's a 20 to 2024 model, 72-month, 6-year lease, no down payment, no credit check, all the stuff you would expect, no upfront money. You get the passes, you get the weekly, and you get to pick a new truck after 90 days based on availability. And they still pay for the washouts, lumpers, and routed tolls that are authorized. It's a mileage contract on this one too. But keep in mind, we talk about chance of ownership. What are the odds you're going to come here and work for 6 years? Maybe you get lucky and you do, but most people are going to work somewhere 2 or 3 years and move on. And I believe a lot of these lease purchases, they're counting on it because they get the truck back, they get to keep all the escrows and all of that. So just keep in mind, it doesn't necessarily mean the company's bad. There's a lot of reasons. I'm not driving a truck right now because I had a stroke. And so there can be family problems at home. I know guys that had to get off the road for health reasons, personal and family health reasons. Or, you know, their wife left them and they had to go home and take care of the kids. So just know that there's no guarantees in life. And anytime you take a risk, there's always a gamble. Now, let's see. My phone just did something weird. Let's look at the specifications. It's like the other one. X15 Cummins, 18 speed, and all the same amenities, so no need to repeat those. Next, we're going to take a look at the qualifications and what do you got to have to drive one of these if you so desire. Got to be 30 months of OTR experience in the past 10 years. Same as the other. Accident history will be reviewed. no automatic transmission restriction, and all of that. So here's the deal on this lease purchase, and I find it weird that it's higher than just a regular lease, but maybe there's some logic to it. It's another $579. It's $105 a day, which is not crazy high for that fancy of a truck, but wait, there's more. Tires and preventative maintenance, 10 cents a mile, which is about right. That's not crazy either. Tri-Pack, $10 a day. IFTA, penny a mile, I've already talked about it. $22.90 in physical damage, 15 a day. Base plates and permits, 5 a day. And occupational accident, $338 today or per day. And an important note to see there as well is it says program terms are subject to change without notice. So they can change it up on you at any time until you sign the contract. You could think you got your deal figured out, get to orientation, and it could be another ball of wax. But that's going to be, can you make money at $1.05 or $105 a day? Yeah. But if you break down for an extended period of time, I know they give you a loaner truck, but you're still going to have that debt there. If you want to take a few days off and spend them with your family, you're going to have to be mindful of that payment. Now we're stepping up into the big boy trucks or big girl trucks. Lease purchase program for a 389 Peterbilt, 72 month. They're 21 to 23 models. 6 years again. Again, no base plates up front, no elite pass or any of that. They include all that. Trailer washouts, lumpers, routed tolls, that's all included. You get the truck of your choice after 90 days. You get 3 cents a mile additional pay with verification of gold status. That's 5 years experience. So if you've got at least 5 years of verifiable experience in the last 10 years, they'll give you a 3-cent raise. Weekly settlements and all the others the same. Now let's go to the Peterbilt 389. It's 21 or 22 model. It's got the APU available for an additional cost. SPAR heater and all the other amenities inside like all the other trucks. Now let's talk about the qualifications. You can see one of them at the bottom of your screen. For this deal, you got to be 35 and have 5 years experience. Your accident history will be reviewed. No automatic transmission restriction, and the same about the DWIs and DUIs and all that kind of stuff. So they want you to be a little older before you step into the hooded trucks, and I can kind of understand that. It's a lot more expensive. I get why they would want that. Now let's talk about the terms. $525 a week, which is honestly not bad. Depreciation, tires, and preventative maintenance, 15 cents a mile. Again, you will not get that back the way I understand it, because they're going to apply it to depreciation. You know how I feel about IFTA, $22.90, and physical damage is $105 on this program. Plates are $35 a week. Remember on that other program they were they were $5, so they've gone up significantly. And insurance for occupational accident is $23.66 a week now. But wait, there's more. There's a $50,000 balloon payment at the end. I do not know if they will finance that if you don't have the money or what happens. There's a non-refundable depreciation fee, which is $5,000 total. I feel like they are to give you that back if you pay the truck off or apply it to your balloon payment. Get this, $1,000 cleaning deposit collected prior to the start of the lease. So you're going to need to have some money down. At least $1,000 the way I'm reading this. And a $2,000 damage deposit collected at $200 per week from the first 10 settlements. Now, that's going to mean right there that your first at least 10 checks while you've got this truck are going to be significantly less. So you're going to need to have a substantial amount of money saved up to kind of get you through the rough times. Now let's talk about if you lease purchase a 567 for 72 months. It'll be a 2023 model, that same 72-month lease. None of the upfront stuff they'll charge you for. You still get all the Elite Pass stuff. They'll still pay your trailer washouts, lumpers, and routed tolls. And after 90 days, you get the truck you want. You get an extra 3 cents for gold status and still weekly settlements and all that. It's going a little fast now. I'm trying to keep up. But the truck's equipped about the same. They want you to be 35 with 5 years experience, $125 a day plus 10 cents a mile, and then another 15 cents a mile for depreciation, tires, and preventative maintenance, penny a mile for IFTA, and $22.90 and physical damage, $105 a week, base plates $35 a week, occupational accident $23.66, non-refundable depreciation fee $5,000 total, and I think that's just insane, and $1,000 cleaning deposit, which I also believe to be insane. And they do that damage deposit same way, $200 a week for 10 weeks. Okay, now let's go to my personal recommendation, which would be company driver. And I just think it gives you a chance to fill this company out. As you hear some of the reviews, if you go in as a company driver and it doesn't work out, you can leave with a lot of financial responsibility. They do have local positions, super regional, and dedicated positions, as well as over the road. And it's got some of the details there. I would recommend calling recruiting to see what's available in your area if that's something that you're interested in. I think that if you're wanting to make the big money, it's going to be hard to do on a local or dedicated run, but maybe I'm wrong. Those of you with experience at Hurricane, you know I've never worked there. If you've got experience in Hurricane, leave comments below and tell us all about it. But I just think the safest bet would be a company driver for a few months and see if you mesh well with them. Now, here's a good one that we're going to look at here in just a second. We've already talked about everything else. Driver success. Here's some of the bonuses. Clean DOT inspection. If you've been there a year, you get a $3,000 bonus. They've got a fuel incentive, but it's pretty crazy. You've got to attain a certain amount of miles every week. It's going to scroll up in a minute where I can show you that. And some of that's out of your hand depending on dispatch. Yeah, 2,770 miles a week. When they admit to the government, they're only giving drivers almost 2,100 miles a week. But here's the really hard one. Getting 7.75 miles per gallon, pulling a reefer, and you've got to have had a download performed within the most recent 6-week period. So I think that's going to be real hard to achieve with a reefer. Maybe I'm wrong. Some of it's going to depend what part of the country you're running. There's just a lot of factors that are going to play into that. And they give you $27.50 for a driver referral, and then they show a trophy of a guy that got 9 miles per gallon in his 579 Peterbilt. So I would like to know more details about how he hit that, but I guess it's definitely possible. And then they've got a document you can read if you go to their website, and it tells you that driving slower will increase your fuel economy, and shifting tips to increase your fuel economy, and also the recommended tire pressures for your tires. For me, I think they're going a little soft on the tire pressures. 110 on the steers is fine, but 100 on the drives and trailer, you're not getting maximum rolling resistance. Going that soft on the tire, in my opinion. Now, the big question, why Hurricane Express? And I thought this was hilarious. They don't have nothing there. Even they on their website can't give you a reason why you should go to Hurricane Express. So I thought that was pretty funny. And so let's go and look at the next thing on here, which I believe is their culture. And it talks about how nice the trucks are again. And it has a quote at the end from the owner. They call him the CEO, Caden. As I said, he's got some really good videos on YouTube. if you're interested in the company and want to check those out. He's a former driver, but I think his lease purchase program needs to be tweaked a little bit. It says if you got 10 years experience, you may qualify for platinum status. And it says you can call them for more details on how to attain gold or platinum status. There's their phone number if you're interested in them. And next we'll go check out reviews. And keep in mind in reviews that you want to look at some good and some bad. The good ones, a lot of times they're incentivized by the office to say something good about the company. We'll enter you in a drawing to win money or something like that. And the bad ones are disgruntled people that, it's always the company's fault. It's never their fault. Try to figure that the truth is somewhere between the middle, is somewhere between the good comments and the bad comments. And just keep it in mind if you start hearing a lot of people say the same thing. There's their Google deal. I went to Google reviews. It's a 4.3, which is not terrible. And then I put it to newest. And that will, first one was 5 stars. Second guy said if I could give it a 0, I would. Highway Patrol needs to patrol more of the area. These I kind of discount too because it's not a driver. It's not somebody that works for the company. It's just a four-wheeler driver that had a reefer in front of him that was going as fast as he could, but they were in a hurry. We've all had people like that behind us. I don't know that this is anything negative on the company. It's just people are impatient with trucks. And so it's probably a younger driver that just has never been around trucks or understand when you're pulling 78, 79,000 pounds of produce, you're not going to be able to take off like a race car. There's another 1 star, another 3 star. This one's a 1 star. Good luck on getting anyone to pick up the phone or give you any updates. Pretty frustrating working with Hurricane. I would not suggest it. Notice all the 5-star reviews are their own employees. So yeah, keep that in mind. You will see a lot of stuff on the internet saying they don't answer the phone. They won't let you talk directly to payroll. You can't talk face to face with somebody there. I've never been to their terminal. I can't confirm or deny it, but there's a lot of reports and criticisms of that on YouTube. Several 5-star reviews. One guy showing off his pretty truck. And here's a guy, keeps me working and I have no complaint because I'm able to take care of my family's needs. So there's a pretty positive review. Plus, their people are very nice. They're on their job keeping me working. Unless you like low pay and being overworked and like being micromanaged while you're paying for your truck, this is the place for you. More than likely, you will not be able to own your truck. They make money off of drivers paying the weekly. I don't like these comments for a couple of reasons. For one, what is micromanagement? And there's different definitions for it. But, I'm sure they do manage you because their safer score is really good. So I'm sure they do manage you. And more than likely, you will not be able to own the truck. Well, look over your truck driving career. How many companies have you stayed at for 6.5 years? I've had several companies I've stayed at 4.5 years. But I don't know that I've ever stayed at a company 6 years or 6.5 years. So it's not necessarily the company if you can't pay the truck off. This is why, generally speaking, I recommend going through a dealership or something like that so that you can move the truck to other companies. And but man, that $50,000 balloon payment on a 6-year-old truck just doesn't get me excited. One more here we can look at real quick. Do not go to Hurricane Express unless you want to lose everything you own financially. See all those 5-star reviews? They harass you by Qualcomm or text to send in multiple 5-star reviews for a chance to win $500. That should tell you everything you need to know not to go there. First, the $2,000 minimum guarantee does not exist. My husband never made $2,000 and he ran 4 to 6 weeks and only home 2 days. It costs you $300 a day just to go home. She's talking about your fixed expenses. And yes, truck ownership is very expensive. My husband would consistently sit between loads, sometimes a whole day before getting anything else. The first 90 days is the honeymoon. Everything goes okay. And after that, checks get smaller and smaller. I'm talking $500 to $800 a week, and you're responsible for your own taxes. Yes, you're an independent contractor. If you want a dog, it's $2,500 deposit, and there's a very large cleaning deposit that we already talked about. That's the $1,000. The trucks are filthy when you get assigned one. Well, if I paid $1,000, I'd want them to clean it. They take out multiple truck payments a week, and that's even when you're not behind on the payments. Shop doesn't repair what you request. And then they talk about if you break down on the road, how expensive it could be, and how they have to wait at dealerships. Well, again, that's not Hurricane's fault if the dealership's busy. I mean, I don't want to be the defender of Hurricane, but I mean, these are all risks that you take, and this is more of the reason that I suggest company driving. Go there, be a company driver, and see how they handle their maintenance. See how the office staff treat you. See how much micromanaging is involved before you start putting money down and putting non-refundable deposits into escrows and all of that. Know what you're getting yourself into. And I do agree with their last sentence, research and make a sound decision. Alrighty, we're back. So some of you are going to view this as a negative video on Hurricane Express, and I did not mean it that way, but let me give you some quick final thoughts as this is already a long video. The only person I would suggest going here is if your dream has always been to have a pretty hooded truck and you have no bills at home. I mean, none. You don't have a house payment. You don't have a car payment. You live with a relative to get your mail and stuff. You're willing to stay out weeks or maybe even months at a time, then maybe try their lease purchase. Get that dream truck you've always wanted. But what I would recommend for most people, especially if you've got a family, expenses at home, I would probably go there as a company driver, at least initially, and try them out for a few months. And then if you like it, if you think you found a home, then by all means, lease a truck and chase your dreams. But if you get there and it's like people are saying, and they lock the doors and they won't answer the phone, then you're a company driver and you can escape without having a large amount of debt that they're going to charge you when you quit the company. But I've never worked for Hurricane Express, as I stated in the video. But if some of you have, leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought about them. If you thought they were a good company, bad company. If you've met their drivers on the road and talked to them, what did you think about them? And what did they think about the company? But that's it for this one, folks. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. We've got a lot of videos coming out this week. They'll be going out to everybody. But thank you guys for sticking with me and being a channel member. And we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.